Hello, I'm Dara and welcome to my beef farm. It's another Monday morning and another wet one, and we also had a lot of rain there yesterday, Sunday. I'm after calling down the dairy beef heifers, so these are all the calves, and I'm going to move them across the road. I think they more or less have this side of the road finished there, so you don't have to call them twice here they're on. So we'll get these moved across the road while I'm waiting for the rest of the calves to come down. I just say what else is coming up in the video there. I'll just give you an update on, we'll call them the autumn calves now, how they're getting on with the breeding season. And I'll give you an update on the shed I started in last week's video. So I hope you enjoy the video. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Hold on there now, you. Hold on, hold on, hold on. So I want to get them all down first because they're going out on the road and they're running up that way. And if I don't have all them down here, if I don't have all these calves down here, that means those calves will turn around and run back the way. So come on, come on, come on. Just check that there's nothing coming now and let him on. Go on. So Daddy's above on the road there, and he'll stand out then when they're just getting up to him there. Go on. Go on. Go on, go on, go on. I said this time of the year is when calves start turning into cattle. So like they're the full of the road now, the 60 of them going up along there. And just check to make sure I have them all. So those calves, in my opinion, are flying it. I haven't put a needle or a dose or anything in those calves since they came up here to the silage ground. They were all dosed with a long-term dose in the year coming up here in August, and I think they're an absolute super order. They're not getting any meal. They're only on a grass-only diet. Okay, they could be a little bit bigger if they were getting meal, but I'm always kind of looking at the costs of things here and the extra workload that's in carting meal up to this number of calves in the group there. So this was cut for 2 cuts of silage, and then these lads came in and ate the aftergrass there end of August, September, and now they're back on it again now for the final grazing. So I don't know if the camera picks that up, but it's fierce green considering it only got 1 bag of Richland after the second cut, and I didn't put any fertilizer on it after it was grazed. I don't know how grass is on your farm, but on my farm I've never seen it as green for this time of the year. You'd swear we had gone out with an extra bag of nitrogen. Grass is still growing strong as well, which is highly unusual for this time of year. Again, there's no real cold. We're going to get this grazed off now pretty quick, and I'll get them home, and I'll have grass around at home then, and hopefully we'll keep them out there till around the middle of November. Fingers crossed now, it's all weather dependent. I'm here in the paddock with the 4 cows that needed seeders. These are the ones now that are going to be put in calf to calf next July, August. So the seeders were put in them because they weren't shown much activity on their ovaries, and I kind of wanted to get all these cows calving compactly. So I had the vet out, we scanned them. She decided that they needed to have the seeders to bring them around. The sucklers are funny kind of animals. They're different to dairy animals, for example, in that they have the calf sucking from them, and that cow-calf bond can interfere with the natural cycling of the cow. The cow can stop cycling because she's kind of so happy that she has a calf at foot, and she's just happy to rear her calf and hasn't much interest in going back in calf. So sometimes they can get a bit lazy, and they need a little bit of hand along. So that's where the theory comes of we'll say on-off suckling on suckler cows. It helps to break the bond with the calf and get the cow back cycling. So these 4 cows are mad bulling this morning. They're in heat. They're big, strong heats. You can see them there now. They're all. As soon as I drove down here, you could see the 4 of them in a heap together. They're all on heat now and ready to be served. White Wayne in there is castrated, so he's not bullying them. He's going through the motions all right, but he shouldn't have any lead in his pencil anyway. So I get them up to the yard. They're going to do fixed time eye. So that means they have to be eyed at the same time that the seeders were taken out and hormone injections were given. So we'll get them up, get them served back to the field, and hopefully we'll have in-calf cows. This is the last cow I have to serve with AI. So I start by inserting my left arm into her rectum, and then I clean off any excess dung and dirt that may be on the entrance into her cervix, because we don't want to contaminate the gun when we insert it. This cow actually proved very difficult to do because her cervix was down very deep, and it was also to the side and slightly banana shaped. Plus her rectum was very tight and was kind of cutting off the blood supply to my hands, and your arm gets very tired in those situations and can be hard to do. But I persisted with her, and I was very happy that I got her served successfully in the end there. That is the thing when you do your own AI. Every cow is different, and you'll always meet a challenge along the way. I usually put the gun back down my back, but we pull the sheet off it first, so I'm not putting a dirty gun back down my back. So it's just to keep it safe there and I won't lose it. So I'm just putting pink, purple tail paint on the cows, and that's just to say that they are all served. So I usually start off with green and then change to pink or purple once the cow is served. I keep the tail paint topped up, and then I'll keep a close eye on the cows, especially once we come to about 18 days. From then on, then I will be expecting to see repeats. So these cows are all served now. There's 12 of them served there in about 10 days. Those ones I brought in today, I did 4 today now. And so very strong heats on all the heifers and the cows. So hopefully they will go and calf, and I'll have minimal repeats. So fingers crossed now, and 3 weeks will tell all. So I'll just open the gate and get them back to grass, and that's this little block of work done with these cows. I don't know if you can hear the rain outside, but it's absolutely bucketing down. There's a storm or something coming in. I think it's the first storm of the season, but it's frightful what rain is falling there now. It's really going to bring in winter early on us. So it's a good excuse now to get me into the workshop to get working on this shed behind me. I had that roof truss done and primed, so I want to get onto these back pillars. They're the short pillars. So I have this base plate to weld on there, and come over here then I have 3 single cleats. So because I'm going to use this as an end pillar, so I put a cleat there and also a cleat in there, and that's to carry timbers for the gable end sheeting and the back sheeting. So I might set up the camera and maybe I'll speed up a few bits and pieces, because once you weld one, it's the same thing, and just show you there as how I'm getting going and getting things ready. Now I'm going to get started on this pillar and get this base plate welded on there. The first thing I need to do is clean off all that primer paint and the burrs on it and have a nice clean surface so I can weld. A MIG welder doesn't like paint or too many foreign bodies there, so for a nice good clean weld now I'll get that cleaned up there. Now that's that one in place. I'll turn it over and weld it all the way around as well. Now that's just welded on there and welded on in there. Welded on in there. So I'll turn it over on the stand and weld it around completely. So that's a pillar done. I should nearly time myself to know how long it takes me to do a pillar, but don't think it took too long. The cleats are welded on there and the one at the back, and I just have a bit of primer then sprayed onto them now while they're nice and warm, and that'll dry and do a grand job. So that's that one done, and I can get it down off the stands, and I'll bring up those other two and get them done as well. Up in the stands now, I have the front pillars. The setup on them is slightly little bit different to the back pillars. So I have all the back pillars done, and they're left down now out of the way. All the cleats are put on now. Everything is primed, so they need to be painted now in an overcoat. So the front pillars are different in that the roof truss goes on top. So I have those top plates welded on, and there's also a plate going at the front, and that's for a brace, an angle iron brace, and they're also welded on. And then down at the end here, I just have to cut a small bit off the end of the pillar and then weld on my base plate. So I'd have these ones made quick enough. I just have to weld on one cleat then as well onto one of these pillars for the gable end sheeting, and then there's no cleats to be welded on to any of the rest of those pillars. So I'm after making nice progress here. It's just 1 o'clock now, it's nearly time for a bit to eat. And I'm going to go and do the jobs then after dinner. I think I'm going to rehouse the cows for the weekend. Today is Friday. And get the beef heifers fed. And then I can come back in and I'll get these pillars finished today before I go home. These are the last 2 pillars now to be welded. They're front pillars. So I've everything finished. I've all the pillars done now. I have 1 roof truss done, so I have to get the steel in to the workshop now and get the other 3 roof trusses done. And we're good to go then. I've just the steel gone across into my brother's calf house. And my nephew is spraying it all there at the moment. Hopefully the shed will be ready to go then in 2 days. I just have the 3 roof trusses, so that should be, you know, I probably won't get them fully done today. But once all that other pillars are sprayed, you wouldn't be long about getting through the rest of it then and getting the shed standing then. I'm here in the yard. I always seem to be in the yard doing something with stock. But behind me is what I sometimes refer to as the forgotten bullocks. I don't think I've shown these on any of the videos on YouTube, but these are dairy beef bullocks I have. Been grazing on the farm all summer, and I probably hadn't the best of a run for them all during the summer. Sometimes now these lads were a little bit tight. But they seem to have done very well now, especially in the last 6 weeks. But they're absolutely motoring through grass. And just with the wet weather now all weekend, I just think it's time just to put them in. Now, they're not priority bullocks. They're not what I'd say that I'd want finished before Christmas. I would be targeting these the end of January into February. So the only way I know really when they are going to be finished is to run them over the scales and weigh them, and we'll know pretty well then, based on their live weights now, when I will kind of put a proper target on them for finishing. I'll turn around and I'll just show them to you there, and then we'll run them over the scales. There's mostly Herefords and Anguses, and there's a scatter of limousines, black limousines in there. They're hungry now. They're fairly skinned where they were now. There's also there's 2 suckler bred bullocks through them as well there, and I think there's an Angus bullock there as well off one of my own limousine heifers. So the red lad and there's a black bullock there someplace, they'll go back out to grass, and the rest of them then will go into the shed and we'll start, I won't say finishing them there, but we'll start feeding them. As I said, I'd only tip them along now on 3 kilos a meal, good silage. Keep an eye on them, and then we'll ramp up the feed, and then before Christmas and push them out then, as I said, the end of January is what I'd be thinking, the end of January, February. Get out. 2986 or 60 with it. Got him, yeah? Good bullock there now. 552. 1.2 a day. Three double knot 5. You see some ways, isn't that? 1.44. He could be a bit strong on himself now, that fella.
Yeah.
No. He'll be a good animal when he's finished. $483. 2993.
What do you do?
Oh, I forgot to put in his number. What's over a kilo? 1.09 kilos. 2913. $86. Again, I'm getting a kilo a day. Handy little fella there now. 40 kilos is all. $3064. However, he is so poor. Still, he's on 1.16. Open up your mouth now, like good man. So I just go to the clock here and we'll see what the group average was. 21 in it. Group average is 493 kilos. 10 kilos or 10 ton of bullocks there. 410 is minimum weight, maximum weight is 484. And again in a kilo a day. Oh, not too bad, I suppose, overall. In gain 0.7. Max gain 1.44. So that'll give you your averages and a good overview of how the cattle were doing. So that's another job done. I have 19 gone into the slats. And the two lads behind me here are out on my own sucklers. They're going back to grass there. So I think I'll leave the video at that. I'd like to thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.